don't know how to start this because the whole procedure is a little bit. So you have our equipment here and very modern equipment. So I think it's more complex. So I'm actually not sure how to start. Because, well, the first thing to start is you have these two machines. Probably you will work with these two machines. In the first session, what you need to do is to find the thresholds, apart from the consent form and everything. So I have here my lovely assistant, Joseph, who will be our example person. So come, please, Joseph. I already did all the consent, supposedly, well, I did anyways the TMS questionnaire. He is suitable. And he has signed for the job today since yesterday. Also, we have been working together trying to prepare this for today. So he is an experienced person. And I'm just going to explain what we have here. And then probably when you are going to do it, so you will have to take notes about what you are using here. But it's quite, yeah, once you do it 10 times, it will be very easy to do. So for motor cortex, actually you don't need this. To do motor threshold, you don't need to have this is brain side. You are familiar with the equipment, I think, because you were before in another course. Is it? Is it true? Are you familiar with the equipment?
Not really. No, we have actually once a demonstration, but that is 1 year ago. I just speak from my.
Okay, so we have here, this is the TMS machine that you have. And this machine has a computer that is connected to it. And the thing of this is quite cool because you can program inside the computer. This is easier than the machine I have, which I have to do by hand. But okay, I like it that because it's like manual, it's faster. I just run, I put it, and here it's just so complex. You have to do many stuff. But okay, this is very modern, so we will talk tomorrow about how you program this, just for you to know. I think you already have classes about this, and the idea will be that I teach you how to do the technique, but also how to do some programming. Here I have put programming. I don't like programming, so it's how to program the machine. I have already created the script for 1 Hertz, low frequency TMS. And other 2 protocols of TMS that you can do there are repetitive TMS, so like you have it ready, very common. And probably tomorrow we will do an example with 10 Hertz, so high frequency TMS, so for you to know how to do it. It's very easy, very easy. The only thing you need to know is what you want to put there, and that's it. Obviously, when you don't know it, it's very difficult. So this is the equipment. This is a camera. This camera is connected to this computer. And this software, this is a brain side. It has a software that will allow me to locate different regions in the brain, and I can keep my coil steady, checking that this software here. So I will put some sensors here in the head of my lovely assistant and in the coil, and then I will always be able to locate my stimulation site. For motor cortex, it's not needed because you can see that you are stimulating. This is mainly needed for other regions because you don't know where you are, right? So here, what I'm going to try to do now is to put everything in position in a way that the camera can see Joseph and can see the TMS coil, right? You need to put the sensor so that the camera is in view. Recommendation. Now, before I give the recommendation, now in the lab I'm now, they always use this machine. In the past, for motor cortex, I didn't use it. You don't need it. You don't need it. You can put a mark here on his head with a pen, and as long as you are always over this mark, you will be fine, and you can see that you will be stimulating the frequency. So you don't need it. If you don't have it one day, it's fading, and you need to get the motor threshold, you can get the motor threshold without the need of this brain side. This is just fancy, and mainly the purpose is for areas outside motor cortex. The first thing that I would recommend anyways to do, and if you get used to do it, if you do it in every study with the brain side, is to locate the camera. So to put that everything is in view, because it can take a lot of time until everything is in position. So what I didn't know is if you want to see that, or you want to see just direct straight to the motor cortex. But okay, since we are here, let's try. There are many steps. Oh, thank you. So this is the brain side, so this equipment, the sensors. And it has different possibilities for putting the sensor in the head. That could be this, or it could be these super cool glasses that are very good when you are doing EEG TMS. Because this will know, if you put it around, it will affect the electrode signal. But this one is just the glasses, so you can put them there. And what I'm missing here is like a cord that you can have some pressure and then it will not move. So, but in this case, we will use this one. And here you have different sensors. Different trackers, and it says here ST, subject tracker. And you have here also other, that it says CT, coil tracker. So the CT trackers are for what? EC, for the coil. So we will use the coil trackers to track the coil. So CT for the coil. This procedure, you will have to do it every time you are going to do your TMS experiment with this fancy equipment. If you are doing, probably you will be doing outside simulation, motor area simulation. Okay, let's see. So the first thing I'm going to check is this is my pointer. And with this pointer, what I will do then later is to locate Joseph's head here. And you want it to be, you see that is in view? Because you see this, can you see the dot there? Yeah. So it should be in view. And all the other sensors should be also in view. If not, sorry, Joseph. So you see the other? So you really want to check that this is in view of the camera can see it. It is silly now, but as you can see, thank you very much. There are some marks here. So yesterday we tested it and we tried to find the position where my camera will be located, because I assure you that you can take really long time until you get the right position that the camera can see the subject and the coil and the tracker. So when you have a lab, a TMS lab, and you are going to always use this, try to position the camera in a way that you keep it there and it will be able to see what you want. So things, you can see also the marks here. So we tested everything, okay, where we put the chair, where we put the camera, and it should work. Hopefully it will work, at least for this position of the camera. You see this position is, we were testing yesterday. Let's see. So this is really practical. So you're going to see just the silly stuff, but you have to check it. Here, you see it has a hole. And this is this bar here. So you want to put it there so to be able to put the sensor, right? I'm going to test it. Yesterday we did it, but I didn't want to damage the sensor. These sensors are very, very delicate. So yesterday I was doubting, shall I leave everything ready for tomorrow or shall I remove it? The problem is that they are very delicate, and then if you don't treat them with care, they will start to be scratched and they will not work anymore. So you don't want to have that, and just for the sake of taking care of the equipment, I put it back. Then that's why they are not ready now. So, but then you know. You have this very different screw, and then what you want to do is to position this thing here and just inside. This is to tighten the sensor. Probably there should be another here and I don't see it, and then here. So when you are going to do your experiment, you need to come before, half an hour before, and organize all this stuff. So it means it might take half an hour until I have this thing ready. It's a silly thing, but it's a hands-on. And then here you are seeing what you have to do in your real experiment. Don't wait 5 minutes before or whatever, you will not have your experiment ready, and it will take really an awful amount of time. Is this fine? Too tight. So you see now, you see the sensor there. So now what we want to have, also you need to have ready is the, I'm going to use not this coil. As we saw, this coil has a cooling system. And I don't want to use it now because for just normal TMS, I am not going to use the cooling system. I can use the normal coil. So we have a coil that is normal, like it's smaller. I will use that one. And when I'm going to do our TMS or very long protocols, I would use that one. Also, it's heavier, and I'm going to manage, I'm going to be holding the coil. So because it's more practical, and also because it's easier, so I will use this one. So we put this thing yesterday here. This is not part of the coil. We put it yesterday, so you can remove it. I don't know if you're familiar with this. And I don't have one of these in the lab where I am. I have never had one of these. So, but Joseph told me, and I believe him, that they are using it for the holder. I have tested several ways of holding the coil, and we have some ways to have it there, but not with this type of shin rest or whatever, because it doesn't give me what I want. So you can remove it. I don't want to remove it completely, but just I want to show you that, you see, it's not part of the coil. And then you want to locate this in the middle. And these will be located in the chin rest. But you can play with it also. You will need to play with it when you're going to do your experiment. I have already tried it in the lab I'm now, different ways, and you can waste days until you reach a conclusion that probably that method doesn't work and you want another one. So you need to play with it. What is more comfortable, what is accurate, also. So you tighten it, and what I will do is I will use, I think, this one to locate my sensor. I need to put my sensor here. And I'm going to use the CT670, let me a second. Yeah. I'm going to calibrate the coil. I need to calibrate the coil. It means I need to tell them, the camera, where the coil is, yes, so that it is always in position. Here already, they have done some calibration, probably with the previous person who was here or whatever. And you need to tell which, well, the name of the coil. And also, I haven't used this, no, in this way. I have used BrainSight. I don't do it this way, but okay. They are informing also what tracker they are using. Yeah, I have just one tracker there, so I don't need to give any information about the tracker, but here they are saying that this CT760, you can play with it, and you can play with the other trackers which have other, they are longer or whatever. You can play with it and probably will give you a different positioning, but you can play with it. Anyways, the way is the same. You have to do exactly the same with it. So the same thing as I did before. You attach this here and then here. And then tighten it here so that it doesn't move. Yeah? Because if it moves, so you have a wrong position of the coil. BrainSight will be, which is not the same with the other system, with Localite. Now my reference is Joseph. So everything will be around Joseph. So if I move the camera or I move the coil, it doesn't matter as long as Joseph is always in view and is the center. Let's see if this can be seen. So you see now the coil appears here, yes? Okay. Now, this is a lot of stuff. You have this stuff, and this stuff is for the calibration of the coil. Yeah, have you seen this before? Okay. But also, you have another stuff that you have to put here. You have these two things, and you can read here, it says Duo Max BF for the cool coil. So when you are going to calibrate the cool coil, you need to use this one. And when you're going to use the other coil, you need to use this one. So pay attention to it, okay? Because this is a mold exactly for the coil you want to use. And you want to put it in this way, okay? So you put the coil here. So
once again, with the difference of
the coils are different.
Yeah, okay. So this is for the cool
for the cool coil.
Yeah. So which sign we should read?
He says here cool.
Oh, there's a cool there.
And he doesn't. So this is the one I'm going to use, right? And to do this, you go to, pay attention to this, up, window, TMS called calibrations. As you have already created this, you can create a new one. For the cool coil, you can create a new one. So you click the one that we already have, and you do recalibrate. If it's a new calibration, so you click new calibration. So recalibrate, and then you have a window. And what you will do is to put the coil in the position of the mold. So that is here and is in view. When everything is in view, actually we did it different yesterday. Let's see if I can. I shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Sorry, but we don't have a holder and
you need an assistant.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Somebody who can help you to hold something. You can.
Okay.
Thank you.
I can do it.
So let me see this thing. This is a little bit difficult because it has this thing here. So probably you can put also there a sensor, wherever. So it needs to be in view. Can you see now that there are three balls like there? Let's see. Okay. Can you see the window there? The coil tracker and calibration block are both in green, right? When they are both in green, so I can calibrate, they need to be in view. So this has three sensors that are saying something about the coordinates and the direction of the coil. So once you have that, they are in view. I'm going to try to see if it works. It doesn't. Can you click begin calibration countdown, please? Yeah. So you wait. 3, 2, 1, and no move. Failure. I moved. You shouldn't move in the last second. Can you click again, please? Success?
Yes.
So I didn't breathe. Don't breathe. Is there in the last second you need to keep still, then it will go. Now you have the coil calibrated. So I can leave this outside. Thank you. Normally when I'm, well, this is not very elegant for the camera, but when I'm in my lab, I can do it on my own, and I support the things. Here I cannot because this is an open space, but I have ways to do it there. I can do it on my own. You have here a pedal. I don't know why it's not working. Normally what you could do is just to click here and it will work. So you need to know why it doesn't work. I don't understand. It should work. Okay, so now we have this. This is very delicate, so the next thing that you will do is to put it in the right position here, okay? Okay. Now, so I'm showing you how you will perform exactly your experiment on that day. Now you need to put, you say, okay, this is working, my code is calibrated, I close this. Joseph is in view, my pointer is in view, as you can see, right? So I can start to locate Joseph, register. So actually this is Joseph, he told me. This is his brain scan. For finding the motor cortex, you don't really need that. Either you can have a generic thing, but because it can tell you just the location of the person, you are going to register him, so you are going to tell the camera where the brain is. So it says here nation, then left side, and then the right side, and then it will know the first part, and then we will record some points here and some points here, and then the camera will know where it is. So I think it should work now. If not, I will need an assistant. Close your eyes, Joseph, please. So the nation, yeah, it's in view, it's not working. Okay. So now the left side. Now the right side. So you see, it needs both of them should be in green. So the pointer and the subject tracker for it to work. Okay. So now we have that, and now we go to scaling. So here in scaling, I will give 10 points or 8 points or 9 points from here to tell the machine where he is. ¿Está? Can you turn the head, please? Yeah. Okay. Now from this side to the other side. So validation, and hopefully we'll get a nice green. You see, green means that we are in an acceptable range. So actually the registration was correct. Then it means that it is equivalent. Obviously, when you are working with a generic brain and you have a lot of people, because you might have, because you don't have access to the MRI, it will not be exact, right? So, but it's fine, because you don't need it for real simulation. When you use it just for motor cortex and to know where the coil is, so it will work when you are doing your real experiment. So that is important, yeah? Okay, so we have registered him. And now we go to perform. Here, as I want to see the coil, in this part here is a driver. I will change my point driver to BF70, to the coil I'm going to use. And then this will tell me where the coil is located. You see? It appears. Can you see it here? The coil appears. Okay. Now let's go to TMS. Let's TMS Joseph. Several things. This is just like preparation stuff. We're doing motor threshold, so we need, we are gonna do the EMG. So we need some, I always work with the FDI, with this muscle. So I'm gonna put the one electrode here. This is a belly tendon montage. I use one in this knuckle. And here you will use this one as well. Some people use this side. Some people use this side. I use always this one, and I do it like this because I learned like this and I like it. So I do it this. Here we have like a bracelet. When I was in Göttingen, I was using a different stuff. So in different labs, you can have different ways to have the ground. This will be the ground. Here I will have my reference electrode and my active electrode. And my ground was something that I was putting here. In Frankfurt, I was using also a different way for ground. And in the United States, I'm using the ground here. And here you have also the ground here. That will be a bracelet. But if you see different things, it doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just that it's a little bit different. The effect will be the same. You have your kit here. As these are cabled, you want to remove them each time you are going to start to store them. Normally, you don't leave the electrodes there flying. So what we are going to do is to connect this here. We are working with channel 1. You have here 2 channels. Pay attention to it. If you are working with channel 1, which I think is, we will put it here, that it register channel 1. So connect the cables to channel 1. It has a way, so pay attention. Don't try to force it to put it because you will kill it, and it happens. So check where you have to insert so you don't damage the equipment, and it goes easy. So this is, sorry. Probably this is not the best location when you are going to put your lab, so you pay attention to all these details. What is easier for you, what is easier for him, yeah? Comfortable for you mainly. And this is the ground. The ground here, Gesundheit. The ground here goes to PG. It says PG here. If you want, just check. Can you see? Goes in the middle. Yeah? Some more details, then you didn't see it, and then you forget. Okay, normally what I do is I prepare the hand. So I clean the hand, because this is like for electroencephalography, you see that you clean the area, right? And here is no exception. What I do is use alcohol, and then this gel, and I clean the area so I can have a better contact of the electrodes with the skin, and then I can have a nicer image. So we don't have really alcohol, but we have something like wet wipes. I'm gonna use them to clean Joseph's hand. And you have everything removed, right? You don't have any watch or necklace or earrings or everything. Everything should be removed. I'm gonna remove this just because it's comfortable. And definitely I'm gonna remove this because I should not use this. And doing TMS. And I'm gonna clean his area, right? I will use alcohol. I prefer alcohol and a cotton or something. Probably here you will not have that problem, but I have had this problem with other EMG that you just don't see the image. It's so noisy, then what you need to do is to clean better the area. Okay. I was doing, in the last 4 years, I have been working EEG TMS. And another possibility for the EEG people is that you can use the EEG system to get the EMG. So you use electrodes from the EEG to get this signal. It's so hard to get like a clean signal. It's really dirty, so you really want to clean the area very, very well. And what we were doing was with a brush, cleaning the area. It was great. We really got really nice results, and it was really clean, and so I highly recommend it. And clean the area well. Okay. Okay, so we have cleaned the area. And you are going to do this tomorrow. So pay attention, because tomorrow each of you have to, if you want to be certified, each of you need to show me that you know how to do this. Very simple, right? So you clean the area and then put this thing here, that is the ground. And the electrodes. These are disposable electrodes. So you use them and you throw them away. You don't use them twice, okay? I found yesterday some electrodes that were like facing each other, like one on top of the other. That doesn't work. You should not do that. They should be in this way. Then we will use this too, and do like this. So I want to see the belly of the muscle. So ask him to close the hand like this, and then I can see the muscle. Yeah, exactly. And I put it here. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Some people do it like this and put it in the middle. I do it like this and put it in the higher part, yeah? The idea is that sometimes when you put the electrode, you put it outside, so you cannot measure. It should be in the middle. It should be in the belly of this muscle. So, show me. So it'll be here. And the other, I will put it here, on the bone. Sometimes I put tape, depending on the electrodes, just to have a very good contact, okay? Black in the active, red in the reference. If you make an error, you will have the MEP just opposite. No problem, just change the cables. I think this is right, but if we are wrong, we just change the cables, no problem. Okay. This is the first part. No, I'm not going to remove. Yeah, I'm going to remove this. As I say, I don't want to use this coil. You can try and you see how heavy it is. You don't want to use this heavy coil to do just motor threshold. You have a lighter coil, nicer coil, so we use the other coil. You connect the coil before switching off the machine. And several things you need to take into consideration is that this should blink, show you 188, and then be green. If it doesn't happen like this, it means there is a problem with the machine. So pay attention to it. Okay? And I'm going to put this in a, I want to put it in a chair. Can someone bring a chair here, just please? Thanks. Because you don't have a coil holder, so you need to be careful with this. Thank you. Thank you. Let's put it here. And let's check this thing here. With another equipment, it will be a lot easier. Just switch on the machine, put it here, and it's easier. But as we have this very modern thing, so we need to do a lot of steps. And then I want you to just to get familiar with all the steps you have to do. Here we did some testing yesterday. Let's use this testing, but you don't need, we can write, well, sorry. Oh, that's interesting. It says the head box is disconnected. This is not possible. See? This is the head box, and it's connected. We charged it yesterday.
Oh, the battery's there?
Yeah, I put a battery. Okay, so I think you're, well, no, you didn't, but you can check like in March, someone came and explained this thing, so you can put here the name, and the birth date, and then the height, weight, sex, blah, 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 and all these details that you might want to have here. So I'm going to create the OL007, and OK. And then you say, OK, the name already exists. So I say, OK, and then I change the name to Joseph. It doesn't work. OK. OK, it says it already exists. OK, now it seems that it's working. Let's see. Okay. Ah, it says it's disconnected. I don't understand why. Look, Joseph, it doesn't work. Let me switch off this thing again. Let's restart the whole equipment and see what happens. Hopefully we'll be able to run TMS today, because it's not allowing me to do so. So it says that it cannot read this. Okay, let's start. That's weird. When you switch on this machine, it checks several parts, and then everything should be checked and it will be correct. Let's see if now it works. And it does. So probably something was not checked before. So when it happens, so just switch off everything and restart. You have different ways here to do stuff. You have MEP, MT mode. That would be what we want, motor threshold and MEP. I have put here well, it wouldn't be here. You have here the different protocols. If you wanna, the RTMS protocol we are not gonna use, not today. ITVS, 1 Hz, and CTVS, and any other test that I don't know someone was doing. But I didn't want that. I wanted another thing. We have so we have we are gonna do just motorable potential now, and we want the MEP empty mode. We are gonna do, you have here a very nice feature that is, Joseph, can you do like this, like we did yesterday? So he will do the maximum strength that he can to get the muscle activation. And I didn't have this before in any other equipment, so. And then this will check that and relax. And then when you want to use the active motor threshold, wherever, you can see it here and color coded. So if it is green, is the level of strength you need for active motor threshold. I will talk about it later. And I'm gonna use relax. Relax the hands. Can you do a fist? So we have the signal here. Relax. Relax, relax, relax. Exactly. Relax. This doesn't look so nice. I think it's not that super clean. Well, some people will be happy with it, but it's not that bad. Okay, so here we're seeing his EMG. Do a fist. And then you see how it changes. Relax. I am selecting just this, so you also have some information here, but I think it's just so noisy. Here you have the history so that you can see the collection of MEPs that you are getting. But I just want to use this screen because it's just one, and then we can focus better. Yeah. Okay, let's try. Sorry, let's TMS him. Very cool, which I don't have him in the equipment I'm working with. You can change the stimulation level from here. So when you have your subject, before applying the stimulation, you can tell him, okay, we are going to stimulate, this is going to feel like this, and then you show him how it's going to feel. Be something like this. This is well. They have like this. So that he feels and has an experience with the TMS. When you are going to have a person for the first time, you really want him to be very relaxed with this thing, right? So just another way is to put it here in the back part, like in the shoulder, so that they feel that, and you explain before applying the stimulation. You can start, when you don't know the person, you can start with 40 stimulator output. And then you see if you can get some response from the motor cortex. It seems you seem taller today somehow. Why you're taller today? So one way to find the motor cortex, where I do normally, okay, we have this thing here, like from the inion, it should be the central and 1/3. In this area, more or less, you will find the motor cortex is quite accurate. You really find it this way. So I don't see it, so it will be somewhere, it should be somewhere here. This is the middle point, and then I'm going to try here. But it will not work because it needs a higher intensity. I have already seen it. The position of the coil should be like 45 degrees. You start with this position, 45 degrees. It should be tangential to the scalp. Not this, like not this, not this, not this. It should be tangential to the scalp. This means this. He has a lot of hair, so you cannot see it. The center of the coil should be in the center, the one I want to stimulate. Not like this, not like this, not like this, not like this. It should be over the head. Clear? Maybe you don't say it so much. When you are doing it tomorrow, I will correct you and say, no, that's wrong. And you need to have a feeling with it. When you are going EEG, that's really hard because you really need to keep the coil steady and that it doesn't damage the electrodes. And then the person has the tendency to be like this. Can you see? Like, you are not really, you see? You are using a figure of 8 coil. And then what you want to have is that the center of the coil is over the spot you want to stimulate. So you really want to have the position like this, not like this, which when you don't have experience, you have. So that's why I'm saying when you are going to start your studies, you need to train before. You need to have a feeling about it, to have someone here checking that you are actually doing it right and check that you actually can see the signal. Okay, let's see. And it should be somewhere probably here. Let's try. It will not work because he needs more intensity. With 70 for sure we will be able to do it. 65. See? Are you fine? He should keep the eyes always open, looking at one point in front. No eyes closed. You don't want eyes closed. Eyes should be open. This is muscle activity. So we got it here. Okay. So we have here a beautiful MEP. the cool thing is now that normally when I get a signal like this and I did it 3 times and I go like this signal, so what I will do is, I'm explaining now, but if I don't have this fancy equipment, what I will do is with a marker, I will put a red mark here, and then see if someone doesn't know, will be very scared because they will see this like, oh, it's blood. It's not, but it happened. So I will put a mark just to check if actually that could be a spot that is valuable, that is probably my hotspot. So as I don't have it, what I will try to, what I can do here is it has been sampling in the meantime. And I can select here, probably was 3, when you use the equipment that comes with it, that you have the EMG from here, you will be able to see the MEP here, but we don't have it. So I'm trying to think, okay, it was like 3 before or 4 before. So this position should be, and then I mark it here and I say, go on, this is a target. And I select that target. And now it will tell me where I should locate the coil. Let's try here. Linux practice, and the idea is to put it in the middle. But obviously, that's not going to be very successful if I'm looking back and then I'm looking here. Let me try to find it. So it's here. For motor cortex, as I said, you don't need it. Yeah, I lost it. You don't need it because probably what happened there is I stimulated some cells that are not my hotspot, but I could move the finger. So you see several things. The response here and the response in the finger. Yeah, so let's check the response in the finger, which I know we get with Joseph. Okay. Each time the thing sounded like I'm failing. Okay, good. You see, that's so effective. That is really effective. Okay. So it never fails for me when I measure it in that way. Like I know there it will be around the motor cortex. So you see that both fingers are moving. Okay, now. So I'm moving around to see if I can find a better position. Are you okay? It has never happened to me that it takes so long to find a spot.
So sometimes we have a kind of adaptation to the stimulus. So would that also happen in the TM's stimulation?
Yeah.
Because you found the hotspot.
No, I didn't.
Just now you found it, right? And I see the 2 fingers are moving. Is that the hotspot?
No, I'm trying to find actually which one is the right spot. So it's taking a lot of time. I don't know why. Normally it doesn't take so long for me to find a spot where the motor cortex where it's stimulated. What I'm trying to do, sorry, that was too fast, is I'm sending one pulse, until 5 seconds, and then stimulate it again. And I'm trying to get a stable point, right? But if I'm getting once and then 2 no, and then once again, and then 2 no, so it does not the hotspot. It should be stable. So what I did, I found the stimulation before 2 fingers were moving. So what I did was to reduce the stimulation level, because probably I'm overstimulating now. Sometimes to get, and I don't see this very well attached, so what I will use is some tape so that I have a better contact with the skin is very important. So sometimes you cannot get the motor potential, like just you will move more fingers and it's the only way you will get it. Some people you see so clear that the twitch is clear, it's clean, and then that's the point. But take into consideration that we are measuring actually the electrodes are located in the muscle. So I'm getting the signal from that muscle. And although other finger moves, anyways, I'm getting the signal from that muscle and it's telling me, okay, actually you're stimulating there, right? So the, let's say that this is a target. Again, I will try to so sometimes I'm getting it, sometimes I'm not. So it's not stable because no, I get it. So for me, that would be a good spot, right? You see the twitching? And it's practically only that is very clear. So that will be the spot I will select as a hotspot, for example, right? It's highly reproducible. So that will be my hotspot. Do you see? I think it was quite a good example. So before we saw that the fingers were moving, but I'm not able to reproduce that after a while. So you want to find a spot that you can get this MEP, and it is reproducible, okay? So for what is useful this brain site to tell me, okay, the spot I was stimulating was where the position of the coil is. So let's see if I can reproduce it. Yeah, so notice this. Check, can you see there? Important. You need to put this circle and the dot in the middle, right? Did you notice that when it was a little bit outside, like it was not really centered, so the MEP was smaller, and when it was really in the center, the MEP was bigger? So it's the direction of the coil that is changing also the response, what we talked before. Remember? So let's try again. Relax. This is muscle activity, so they wouldn't be valid because something's happening in the hand. So I ask him to relax. He needs to relax. Sometimes he thinks he's relaxed, but he's just uncomfortable, so you can put a pillow in the arm to help for the arm to be relaxed. Then you click again, and you should not see any type of activity here. Everything that appears before this part, like something here, is not valid because it's muscle activity, so the muscle is not relaxed. Let's see. I should be able to get here better points. Okay, so I can reproduce it. No matter, sometimes you will have this experience where you ask the subject to relax. You will have no presence of MEPs because the subject is relaxing. So the MEP is really highly variable depending on the people's mind, and it really works like that. I had an experience with one subject that he realized he could do it. I had to discard him from the study because he said, you know, I'm manipulating the things. I think high and it goes high. I think low and it goes low. And he's like, do you want to see? I'm like, okay, I don't want to see, but thank you for letting me know. So like it's really, you can really manipulate that. So you don't want the subject to be able to see the screen. He could see the screen at that moment, so he could really do it high or low. It has to be discarded from the study, of course, because that would not work, right? So what do you need, high or low? I need you to don't do anything, right? So that's important. Anyone wants to try? Please, you need to test. This is the first part. Once you have the spot, from there you continue. She is too low. And in her case, what I will do is what I'm using also there, I prefer always to be high. Maybe because I'm used to working high. The person is lying down, and I can see perfectly the head. So it's easier for me. For me today, probably that was one of the reasons why it was more difficult, because for me today he seems a little bit high, so I cannot see the coil from up to keep, you know, to have a better control of the coil. So for her, I will use a step so that she can see from up and hold the coil, because she cannot see here.
Then maybe change another. If I'm not high enough.
You need to have a step, something that you can step on.
Maybe just
I'm sorry, I'm so hungry. You are not hungry? Don't record this. Don't record this. I'm always hungry. Ah, this is chocolate. I don't like chocolate. You want? I need to eat something. Can you step on it? Yeah. So keep an eye on it. Ah, you are not recording? Cool. So try, well, you have this. You can try to find it on yourself. As I said, it's like this is your inium.
Yeah.
And then you go to the center.
Yeah.
And then go 1/3. It will be somewhere like, you see?
Okay, so it's in this area.
It's in this quadrant.
So if you already have that point, it's sport.
Yeah, but try yourself. Don't cheat.
Don't cheat that. So you mean I can?
You can click, yeah.
I can click.
Can you see that it's not? Exactly. You want to see the finger first. I give you a bad example. The first thing you want to see is that you can move the finger. So I was just paying attention to all the equipment, but when you want to find the motor, the hotspot, the first thing you want to see is that you can move If you don't, so you also check what happens here in the EMG. So you don't know where to put the coil, right?
Yeah, I just know that I shoot this focal point to where I want to search.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also.
You want to hold the coil in this way.
Okay.
And put it here, so that it doesn't move. Not only like this, because the coil will move.
Okay.
You want to keep it steady on the head. And you start searching from there. And so the position you want will be somewhere probably here. And there you put the center of the coil. Let's check. So you start playing from there. I mean, it will be 45 degrees. Mm-hmm. Wait. I'm going to put more. With 70, he's making me trying to do that. Yeah, here you'll be able to. You see, there. Four seconds. Wait 4 seconds. When you are doing it, it's more difficult. No? I mean, how do you see it when I'm doing it? It looks easy? Yes. No? Oh, no. Well, good that it doesn't look so easy because it's not.
Yes, because my legs are trembling a little. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, good. But you are not. Probably if you do like this and you hold it like this. Yeah, try. No. Okay. So if you could, the idea is if you don't have the spot, you need to try to find the spot, right? So you can start locating in this way as I did before, something like this, and then from there start to play with this. Looking around. You can really try. Are you awake? He's very unstable, like you get it sometimes and then you don't get it. So it's here, right? Really, once you get familiar with the head, it's kind of easy, but it's not that simple. You don't know. You see how I'm holding the coil to try to keep it there steady. And obviously, you will not always have always high. It will vary because you are simulating. Sometimes it will be high, sometimes it will be low, but in general, it should keep the same height. Yeah. Try. All of you, if you want, you need to try. Don't be afraid of it.
I have a sense of it, maybe the other. Yeah, thank you.
You need it? No, you don't need that.
I need it.
Exactly, it should be somewhere there. 45 degrees.
45. According to this.
In this quadrant, 45 degrees. Don't be afraid to touch the person, because you want to manipulate the coil and move it.
Okay.
You are far from the region, according to the navigator. To back you are not stimulating. You have so much hair you cannot see. Just play with it. So you see, the idea is that you bring a partner and you play with it, and then you get familiar with holding the coil and how is to find the hotspot. Let me see the position of the coil. No. Almost, you are somewhere. So you start to see some responses. Yeah, good. Stay there. Stay there. So once you see a response, stay there. This is the area. Doesn't matter that you didn't get it this time. Stay there again. So somewhere he is a motor cortex, yeah? Now he can search from there a better area where I can get a higher motor evoked potential. Notice something here. He got a spot where he could stimulate, which is different, as you can see, very different to mine. So it's not advisable to use different experimenters in one experiment, because the way you hold the coil is different to the way I hold the coil, and where I find my spot is different to the way you find the spot. It shouldn't be like this, but it is like this. So you can see here, he's a little bit far from the area where I am, and the area where I am, actually, I can generate higher MEPs, right? So you need to practice, practice, practice. Just continue, continue. Actually, that's quite stable. That's a quite good spot. Although he is far from the area where I got, and in the area where I have, also I got stable. Can you see how different it is? How reliable it can be? So every experimenter we have, yeah, come. Joseph is free for everybody. How are you? Are you fine? So from there, and it will be like 1/3, right? Yeah, somewhere. And the center of the coil should be a little bit, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just check, you find your spot. Good. Very good. But notice something. What is his spot? It's completely different to our spot. It's closer to my spot. You see the variability is horrible, TMS. Don't use it. It's very variable, but he got a super good spot. Look, and I think better than mine, because his spot is like he generates. Stay there, that's very good. Great. Oh my goodness, this guy is a prodigy. Wait. Great. Fantastic. Now, don't. I want to reduce it. So probably this is a very good spot. And then you try again, and now you have I have selected exactly. Now you try to locate it exactly. Very good. Yeah. Try there. Oh, you lost it. The coil is a little bit tilted, so try to put it straight. Very good, better. Yeah, very good. Excellent, excellent. Very good. It started with three MEPs. His spot, I think, was better than mine, and probably will be the Hotspot, because when you reduce the intensity, you can get high MEPs. It's very stable. So this is an excellent example where I am against working with different experimenters doing an experiment. You see here, it's very variable. The spot for him will be different to the spot for me. The way I'm holding the coil is completely different to the way he is holding the coil. And he got it this time, but maybe he will not get it next time. No, I don't want to send you bad luck, but it's like beginner's luck. It was really, really easy, very good. It was fine. I think it's just a matter of practice. You need to practice, practice, practice. Okay, you found the hot spot. We say this spot from, what's your name? Justin. From Justin is a good spot. So let's see. Fantastic. Very good spot. So as you can see, that's another advantage of this brain side. He found the spot. Now I come, I put it in the spot, trying to follow his, and I get it. So it's kind of cool, yeah? We said this is the spot we need, and now we can find the motor threshold. And we will do this demonstration about the resting motor threshold, active motor threshold, and with this you can do any study now. Motor threshold, the resting, is with the muscle at rest. I prefer to do it, the hand should be like this, without any type of tension. It's just relaxed. Some people do it with like with a pillow, with the hand like this. I don't like it because you are putting some tension on the muscle and it reduces, it gives me a lower intensity that I need because the muscle is a little bit active when it's like this. And I want it like this. It should not be like this, it should not be like this, it should be relaxed. You have two ways to find the motor threshold. One is just doing it by eye. We are going to put here my scale would be 50 microvolts per division. Actually, I should put less. 30. So it means that peak to peak, you see a lot of noise there because we are in a very low scale, like we are really checking low. So this means 30 per division is that between this point and this point is 30 microvolts. And I need that my MEP is higher than 50 microvolts. It means that it should be between two dots. Can you see that? This machine, for some reason, and I was in contact with the company and Joseph also yesterday night, asking them why we don't get the value here. So if you have the value here, it will be very easy because you see, okay, 650, 153, so it's fine. I need any MEP that is higher than 50 microvolts. But you don't see it, so we have to see it here visually, okay? Okay, 64 is too high. 2, 3 is too high. So I go low. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm starting to find the intensity I need to evoke 50 microvolts peak to peak motor evoke potential. So I go down to 60. 2, 3, super high. I need to go low. Relax. So that's easy, relax, and it relaxed, really relaxed. Okay, here we have 1, 2. I wouldn't speak normally in a normal session because when you speak, when someone is in front, when noise is happening, it alters the excitability, and so I get peaks. So in a quiet environment, no people around, I'm not talking counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You check and say, okay, 1, 2 in your mind, 4, 5. So let's see. So actually, did you see that I generated some MEPs but they are lower than the intensity I need. Yes, so one big, then a second that was smaller, one that didn't, and then one that was smaller. Smaller because I know it should be, actually we can change it to 20. Let's see. So here, per division is 20. So I have 1, so it's 20, 40, and some value here that should be in the middle. So it's exactly like probably 50 or 49. That's not very accurate, but we don't have the value here. So it seems that it reaches from peak to peak is less than 50, so it wouldn't be valid. Yeah? Because look, it's not reaching here, it's not reaching here. It's not very scientific, but when it works, it will work better. Yeah, but you understand what I mean? This wouldn't be, I wouldn't count it as a valid 50 microvolts because it's lower. So, so I send 10 pulses, and I will check in, okay, from these 10, do I get 50? 5 that are 50, and I didn't. So what I will do is I will increase one more because probably 60% will give me what I need. Let's try. Just you count, check which ones are bigger. It should be 5 out of 10, or some people do it 3 out of 6. Yeah? This is not valid. Relax. So we wait. He relaxed too much. So we wait. But you understand what I'm doing, right? Okay, now this will not work, so I'm going to go one high. I sent 6 pulses and nothing happened. So for me, that will be the threshold, because if I go one low, I don't get anything. But I go one up, and I have tested several, so I get 5, unfortunately more, but with 61, I will not get anything. So that will be the threshold I will use in this case. Now, this is one way to do it, like the traditional way, like the way without software, but we have another way to do it that is with the PES. The software, this PES, I downloaded in my computer, and we can try it there. I store my computer. You can download it in any computer that you want. And now that I'm thinking and I'm doing it on my own, I think the PES is nicer in this. I don't like it so much sometimes because it calculates along like with an algorithm, the value, and sometimes I feel that it gets like married with certain value, you know? So I'll explain what it means. Okay, so this is available online, so you can get it. It's like a brain, a purple brain. So you click there. I have never used it in this computer. So I have said estimate the threshold without prior information. So I don't know what information, I don't know which one is the threshold. Now, well, we have here that the value is 61. So we should write motor threshold 61. And then, but here we don't have information. We say, okay, I don't know what it is. Then I say threshold without prior information. And I say, okay. You click start. And it says, okay, start with 37. This is the stimulator output. So I come to my stimulator and I put 37. Yeah, actually I will need your help. And then I will stimulate. If I don't have a MEP 50 microvolts peak to peak, he needs to click N, no. If we get it, he has to click yes. Each time he clicks, it will give me a different value. If it is no, it will be a higher value. If it is yes, it could be a lower or the same value. And then it will finally reach a point when it reaches a green color, or you can decide also, we are doing it there, like when we reach green color, it has different colors. When it reaches green, so we got the value, okay? So I'm gonna hold the coil. Are you okay? Okay, now, so I stimulate, no. So you have to say no. No. No, no. 67. So, yes, you tell me which one had the value. So I change the stimulator output. What? Sorry.
57.
Are you okay? Just give me 1 second, wait. Okay, no. 60? It's really tiring to see the back. This should be in front. So when you plan your lab, try to make it in a way that the screens are all in front so the experimenter can see the screens, because this is just not working, right? I'm looking and then I'm moving the coil. So it's not the best way. Sorry, it's not. 59, you said, 59. 60? So yes?
59.
No?
60.
This. Yeah, it changes, so it changed to red. No.
59.
You see, it's married with 58. Okay, so we reached. So 59. It was not that different from mine. It was 61, and this was 58, but 59. But you see, it gets married with the thing. Now the difference is not that big, and the cool thing probably is that it's faster, right? Because it just starts to calculate. We have done the example with both cases, and the difference is not that huge. And probably 59 in this case is better for the subject, right? Because it's a lower intensity. So we are using now this one, and the difference is not that big, and it seems that sometimes the time could be faster, right? So this is resting motor threshold. Any question about it? Okay, so we can try. Thank you.
So this is also free download, right? This one that we use to calculate the free download.
Yeah. We are using this for resting motor threshold, and I think you can use it also for active motor threshold. Not super sure about it, but I'm going to explain how to do the active motor threshold now, similar to what we did before.